Welcome, wrestling fans, to the Proving Ground. Rogue Wrestling Attractions live here in Spokane, Washington at the West Central Community Center. We're getting underway right away here with the Irish Brawler. Old school as you can get.
Montana, weighing in at 275 pounds,
JP Sullivan, the unstoppable force. He said online that he has something to prove. He wants to prove that he deserves respect and to be in the promotion. That's what this show is all about tonight. These are all athletes looking to prove themselves and to get a spot in the Rogue Wrestling Attractions roster. I'm Willie Largeman here in the commentary booth. And the crowd is behind JP as he has entered the ring, but his opponent is no slouch. That music sounds familiar.
and his opponent from the office,
Proof positive you can take the man out of the office, but you can't take the office out of the man. Just Steve making his way out now. Not only is he trying to get a spot here in Rogue Wrestling Attractions, he's also a regular and the head of HR for Reactivate Pro Wrestling in the Tri-Cities in Washington State. This is going to be a good old-fashioned mean guy match. Two bruisers. JP looking to get that Irish lullaby, while Just Steve is hoping to hook JP up into the audit. The bell is rung and the proving grounds have begun.
Are you really from the office? Send it back to the break room! Who sent you out here? Tommy. Tommy Swanson sent you out here? It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Let's have a good match.
JP kind of getting psychological with them with the "it's not your fault." Oop, not quite yet.
Let's see what the folks have to say. Jump up there. Jump up there.
A nice ovation for Just Steve. Definitely allowed a response there for JP.
Not bad, not bad. Maybe it was the corner. Try that one. Try that one.
Good point. Maybe it was the corner. Now a little louder for Steve. But JP Sullivan is still a crowd favorite. Not that the crowd seems to be against either man. So maybe my calling this a mean guy match earlier was a misnomer. JP getting the crowd involved. And we have our first lockup. JP, nice. Amateur wrestling head and arm. Steve being smart, going back to the ropes to break the hold. Clean break, as we would expect from someone with the moral character of JP Sullivan. And now both men trying to rally the crowd. Another lockup here. JP again now, this time with the waist lock. Steve doing his best to try to sprawl out and break the grip, does so. Gets JP back with the hammer lock, pulling him back from the ropes so he can continue to work that arm for as long as he can. JP looking for an escape. Steve very smart in placing his legs a bit further away. Nice standing switch from JP and goes back to that waist lock. Trying to squeeze and get the air out of the body of Just Steve. Steve, though, able to standing switch and now has a waist lock of his own on the Irish brawler. JP looks like he's just going to power out of it, and does. He's got that grip broken and takes him down. We've got our first cover, only a 1 count. And now Steve is doing something really smart here. Sliding out of the ring, trying to break up that momentum that JP had just created. While Steve did get a couple of advantages during there, getting the reversals, he knows that he needs to get out and reset. Steve assuring the referee that he knows all of the rules. I would hope so. He's a part of the office. He might have, at the very least, transcribed them into the rule book. And another lockup here. JP now, side headlock on Steve. And wrenches down on him. Steve, though, not being scientific, just a nice punch, sends JP off. And JP shamrocked him with that shoulder block. Drove Steve down to the mat. JP offered to help him up. Steve says no. Steve rolls over for the drop down, sending JP to the other side. And a nice hip toss from just Steve. And now JP, sensing that Steve may be building some momentum, gets himself out to the floor. But doesn't take as much time as Steve did. Just a quick break to stop that momentum and to check on his back. He might need a chiropractor later on tonight. Pretty even fight so far between these two. And now another lockup. This time Steve with the headlock. Wrenching on it much like JP was earlier. Steve is not to be taken lightly. JP sending him off. And they meet in the middle, and while JP didn't have the momentum, he's the one who didn't move. Offers to have him do it again. Steve got him to take a step back. One more time now. Steve jumped into it and did not budge the Irishman. One more time. Going for... He tried to tilt-a-whirl him up into the power slam, but Steve was smart enough to reverse out of it. And how humiliating would this be for JP? Steve has JP in the sleeper, which is JP's favorite hold. He calls it the Irish lullaby. Knowing it, though, JP gets out of it. Winds up stuck in the headlock, but that's still favorable. Sending Steve off. Big shoulder block. Steve almost goes down, but was able to stay on his feet. I don't know if he's going to be able to stand up to many of those elbows from JP. Steve coming back off. Big clothesline from Sullivan. Sullivan now picking Steve back up. Another big elbow right to the chin. Sending Steve into the ropes. And another big clothesline from JP. And now this is smart. Old school and smart from JP Sullivan. Not only is he using that chin lock to try to weaken and cut off that airflow and the blood to the head, but also putting his weight on Steve, forcing Steve as he's standing up to lift both of their weights. Steve does so and drops back down with that chin breaker on the top of his head. Steve now has a momentary reprieve to try to shake those cobwebs out. Gets Sullivan onto his feet. Sends him right back down with that snapmare. Steve now building some momentum. And gets a nice running stomp right to the chest of JP. And now a low drop kick right into the center of that mask. Only a 1 count. Sullivan getting the shoulder up off the mat. Both men now onto their feet, but Steve has JP in the corner. Big right hand. And some punching and kicking now from Steve, which really is, from what I've seen, more of his specialty. He needs to lean more into that brawling and wrestle his match instead of trying to be scientific and old school like JP, and that chop says it all right there. Calling out one more, another serving of chops here. Smack connects him, and you can hear that echoing off the backboards of the hoops here in the West Central Community Center. Steve calling for one more, but he took too much time. Headbutt from JP. And now his turn for a chop. Both men are going to be red in the chest by the time this night is over. Big clubbing forearm to Steve in the corner. And, I mean, Steve chopped JP twice. So JP might as well get a second one in. Steve, you can see how much pain those large hands of the Irishman did. Now in the corner, big forearm. Steve blocks it, coming back with the fists. Oh, and he's beating JP down. Gets him back up, wrenches the arm, and sends him right over. And a big PK right to the middle of the back. Kicked him right on the Irish flag of his singlet. Now stomping him while he's down. Another big kick to the chest. This is where Steve shines. Some more punches. The more he can make this into a brawl, I think the better it'll do. But now he's trying the Irish whip on the Irish man, and it's doesn't look like it's working out for him. Reversal. JP sending him around the horn into the corner, and a big back body drop. JP elevating him and having him collapse down. Steve again going to the floor now. I've never been backdropped, but I imagine if I had, I would need a few moments on the floor to get my wind back. And look at how much of an Irish gentleman JP Sullivan is. Was holding the ropes open to invite Steve back in. Referee, though, sent him away. And now, Steve back in the ring, and JP is wasting no time. He knows what this match could mean as it comes to getting on the roster of Rogue Wrestling Retractions. Big clothesline in the corner. Gonna send him the other way. And another one. JP now. One more time. No, Steve. Up and over. JP looks confused after Steve went over him. Steve ducks. Not the prettiest side suplex that you've ever seen, but it was effective, putting Steve onto the mat. JP now getting the advantage back and going right to a nice spinning neck breaker, and he's holding on. Kind of a gator roll for the Irishman. Riding on top of him. Got the arms chicken wing. And wait a minute, he's got him in a cover. And that's the match.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this match,
JP Sullivan claims the first victory of the night here in the Proving Grounds over just Steve. He didn't put him to sleep with the Irish lullaby, but we'll be screaming out Tapper Light tonight as JP gets the victory. And both men gentlemanly. JP offering the handshake, Steve accepting it, and raising the hand of JP. Throughout the whole thing, both of these men knew that this was a sporting contest to see who was better, to see who could possibly advance past the Proving Grounds and onward to Rogue Wrestling Attractions. But Dropkick Murphys play throughout the community center tonight as JP Sullivan picks up the win. But now we move forward into our next contest, and this one is going to be interesting. Jay Manson. Big man making his way through the curtain. Hometown boy here in Spokane. Jay has been wrestling around the city for a long time. And making sure to high-five everybody on the way out. Seemed almost hesitant to high-five that fan, saying hello even to the kids. I like this setup of the tables around the ringside. Reminds me of going to see a movie in a place like the Alamo Draft House, where you can get food and be comfortable sitting the whole time. Jay even shaking hands with the referee as he stands on the middle rope one more time. But his opponent tonight is not going to make it easy.
Come on, buddy.
Glad Jake stopped himself. This is a family-friendly show after all. Jay is standing in the ring alone, but Brad Elliott does not come out alone. Comes out with Dallas McCoy, who we're going to hear from here.
I'm already tired of you, Jay Manson, sitting out here, coming out here trying to prove something to all these people. I'm tired of you dumb, uneducated piece of Spokane trash. All you people, shut your mouth. You really think you are something, don't you, Jay Manson? But I got a little surprise for you. You're not just going to be facing Brad Elliott here. We have a special surprise for you, boy, and that is Christian Wild. Shut your mouth.
Dallas endearing himself to the Spokane crowd as he introduces Christian Wild out here. Nice jacket for Christian Wild.
Please welcome Christian
Wild, a regular for Northwest Pro in Port Orchard, Washington. He's actually finishing out some bookings here in Washington State before heading to Texas, as he's going to spend 12 weeks at the Rhodes Wrestling Academy learning from the legendary Dustin Rhodes. And now it's complete. All three of the American-made Outlaws. And they have that's a blind man's cane that they've just stolen. And I think Jay is getting a little impatient, throws a kick at McCoy, and just one bump of his chest to Elliott, sending him to the floor. Manson now sliding into the ring. Jay Manson, Christian Wild, our next contest here in the Proving Grounds. And obviously the crowd is behind Jay. Not sure why he's complaining about the crowd not liking him, considering Dallas there did refer to them all as uneducated Spokane trash, but what do I know? Wild now in the ring, quickly backs away as Jay approaches him.
That's aggressive start, ref. You know better than that.
Referee checking Jay now, making sure that he's not bringing anything in and also keeping him back. Jay can be a wild card. Referee now trying to check Wild while also subduing Elliott and McCoy there. Shows the kind of person that Christian Wilde is. Having two people out there with him. Meanwhile, Manson standing alone.
Does it look like I'm ready?
The bell is rung, and here we go. Manson is ready. Christian is not, although I've never seen a big guy be quite this sneaky before. I'm not sure if the Outlaws have seen him coming. Maneuvers around Dallas back into the ring, but Christian Wilde caught him coming in with that boot to the side of the head. Manson, they're going forward. They lock up. All that momentum. And just the size difference. Big J sending Christian Wilde back into the corner. Clean break from Jay. Beckoning him to bring it on. Wilde, this is smart, using his quickness to outmaneuver. Manson gets that waist lock. Big chop in the corner. And now, another one in the ropes. But Jay barely felt it, or at least that's what it looks like. And that frying pan size hand of Jay Manson smacking off of the chest of Wilde. And Manson there throwing a kick the way of Dallas McCoy to make sure he stays out of his business. Jay now headlocked on Christian. We're going to see him muscle up Wilde for a big vertical suplex. Wilde now back in the corner, and Jay just going to do a little bit of mud hole stomping there. Referee, though, forcing him back. Technically, Christian Wilde is in the ropes, so he does have to get him back, and Jay just patiently waiting. Running across now, Wilde out of the way. Jay eating nothing but turnbuckle, and a nice kick sending Jay to the floor. Wilde baseball slide drop kick to the chest of Jay, but Jay now coming back, and Wilde is running scared. You can say he's being a coward, but at the same time, it's smart. Getting that big man, that big bear to move around as much as he can, trying to gas him out. Manson now going for a big powerbomb, and wait a minute! Elliott and McCoy just grabbing his legs from outside of the ring. Come on, ref. And now all three, American-made Outlaws and Dallas McCoy, but I think they forgot Jay's brother, Jesse, the other half of the First Family, is here tonight as well.
Hey, you think? Hey, where? Freak? You want a match, huh? You want to interfere with Outlaw business? You can face Brad right here, right now.
Oh! The Madman. Jesse Manson, the other half of the First Family, against Brad. Brad wearing a shirt, singing his own praises that says he rocks. Although, to be honest, I've seen several shirts out there that say he sucks in the crowd. Jumping Jesse from behind now. But Manson making a comeback now with some big right hands to the side of Brad Elliott's face. Snapmare taking him over. And a nice leaping neck wrench from Jesse. Getting Elliott up now. Elliott hasn't even had a chance to take his shirt off yet. Elliott's sliding out of the ring, and now he's got a chair. McCoy takes the chair away from him. Which is smart. He wants his man to win. And now Brad Elliott gets the shirt off. And now we're back into the ring.
Shut your mouth!
Collar and elbow, tie up. Crowd really getting on Dallas. Dallas giving it right back to him. Both men now. Another lockup, and Jesse just sending Elliott back into the corner. Kind of a surprise. I would have figured Brad Elliott would have had the power advantage considering the size difference, but Jesse is deceptively strong. And he does have the power of the people here on the proving grounds behind him. Elliott sending Jesse off. Big shoulder block sending Elliott to the mat. Jesse now tripped up by Christian. Not again. Christian Wilde now. And McCoy back jumped Manson. These guys are just determined to ruin every match they're in. Just a 2-on-1 on Jesse on the outside. Jay now making his way back into the ring. And of course, Elliott Powders making sure to take McCoy with him. Jay now checking on his brother. There on the outside. And I think they're giving Dallas the microphone.
Come on! Huh? How about tonight? A tag team match! First Family versus the Outlaws!
Dallas McCoy handing out the challenge. First Family. Jesse and Jay Manson against the American-made Outlaws, Christian Wilde and Brad Elliott. And wait a minute, I'm getting this in my ear. That match has been made official. Your main event tonight is going to be that big tag team fight between Jay and Jesse Manson, the First Family, and those American-made Outlaws. But before we get to the main event, we've got a good old-fashioned grudge match here.
From deep in the backwoods, weighing 245 pounds, Creedon Hollow.
Creedon Hollow is stout and solid, even using his entrance as an opportunity for a workout. You can see the weights around his chest, around his wrists, and around his feet. Competed in this very building 2 weeks ago for Lucha Libre Volcanica, and a member of they call themselves the largest faction on Earth, the Moment of Truth, which right now at my last count was at 34 members. The Ruthless Predator said he hates sheeple and clowns. And now, his ceremonial shedding of those extra weights that he wore to the ring. Powerhouse is ready for this fight. But this cannot be a fight he could be expecting, because you never really know what to expect with his opponent.
From the pulp of the Lycee, hard in blood, the Wolf Spider!
Member of the cult of the undead fallacy, the mysterious menace Hardenbrook the Wolf Spider. He said recently in an interview that he's ready to become the main attraction. And in a video that he posted to the Rogue Wrestling Attraction socials just a day ago, was seen stalking Creedon Hollow on Creedon's property. Hardenbrook is going to do everything he can to get into the head of Creedon and battle from inside out. Creedon not at all happy that the wolf spider was anywhere near his property. Crawling his way across the chairs, and now finally onto the ring apron. Nice roll around the turnbuckles there. The pose for the crowd. Hardenbrook, the wolf spider. Now, if we're looking at just these two standing next to each other and the way they made their entrances, you would think that this is going to be a styles make fights kind of situation. Creedon, if he can make this into a power battle, he's going to be at the advantage in getting the early jump on Hardenbrook there. If Hardenbrook can turn this into a psychological war or something with a lot more movement, I think he'll have the advantage on Creedon. Although Creedon now with that snap mare taking the wolf spider down and now just standing on him, putting him out as if he was stepping on a spider, stepping on a bug. Creedon now, I can't really tell from my position if he's trying to take the mask off or just kind of squish the head. But I know exactly what each of those blows are, those big forearms to the chest. And Hardenbrook answering back. And now just choking the man in the corner. Referee putting the count on. Remember, if he gets to 5 and Creedon doesn't break, the match is over. And a nice somersault drop kick from Hardenbrook. While Creedon had to break that choke, I don't know if he needed to give him quite as much space as he did, and definitely paid for it. Hardenbrook now winding up. Running in. And a nice cannonball on the corner. You don't see cannonballs like that often. Almost a reverse of the way you normally see him, so that he can end up on his feet and not just risk his entire body there. Step up, middle rope, leg drop onto Creedon. Now a cover from Hardenbrook, and Creedon gets his shoulder up, continuing this match. Both of these two have been seen around the Spokane area. Both are hungry athletes, and we're excited to be here on the proving grounds, hoping to show what they can do, both to the fans here in attendance and to the Office of Road Wrestling Attractions. Creedon, though, now just lifting Hardenbrook up in that choke and throws him hard into the corner. Big blasting forearm. Not only is there the pain of that forearm, but that's got to be driving a lot of the air out of the chest of the wolf spider. And again, sticking with the theme of keeping the air out, has that choke there. And Hardenbrook just laughing at him, saying he can't hurt him. I don't know if that's quite true, with a nice belly-to-belly head and arm suplex. Hardenbrook continuing to laugh at him, playing those psychological games. So Hollow just throws him once again. I've never been in a fight with a guy and have him laugh at me after I hit something. I don't know what Creedon would be going through. Went to the eyes there. Hardenbrook now, kick to the stomach, hooking him up for a nice DDT, sending him all the way over. Planting him on the top of his head, and it's a Spider-Rooney. Get back up to his feet. And a somersault leg drop going for the cover, but he's not going to be able to pin someone as strong as Creedon Hollow with just his leg across the shoulders. He's going to need more than that. But now, following him out, a nice twisting kick to the chest of Creedon. And now rains down a stomp. And oh my goodness! An Acai moonsault out to the floor. He got so high he almost landed on his feet on that table. Fortunately, no food or anything spilled there, it looks like. I know if I'd have been sitting there and the lemonade that I bought from the Pucker's lemonade stand and got knocked over, I would not be happy. And Hardenbrook seems content to take the count out. And he might get it. Referee gets to 10, and Hollow's not back in the ring. This match is over. Hollow, though, not wanting to give it up just yet. And Creedon avoids the second attempt at the cannonball. Hardenbrook went to the well one too many times, and Creedon now showing his intelligence here. We saw with that moonsault that Hardenbrook did that his legs hit that table. And now seeing that and seeing his ankle and knee bounce off the turnbuckle after that cannonball. Hollow going right to work on the left knee and ankle of the Wolf Spider. Just wrapping that leg around the bottom rope. And that's gotta severely limit what Hardenbrook will be able to do for the rest of the match. It is hard to win a butt-kicking contest with only one leg. But the Wolf Spider doing his best to make a comeback, sending Creedon off of that table at ringside. And Creedon reverses him into that steel post. Referee halfway to that 10 count. And the Wolf Spider has not moved since hitting that corner post. Creedon putting the bad mouth on him into that camera. Gets him back into the ring. Creedon wants to finish him in the center of the ring. Sends him off. Hardenbrook ducks a clothesline and gets a leap there with that flying headbutt. And now trying to get the crowd behind him. He kips up. And that adrenaline now. And you can see him trying to make sure that those legs stay under him, and they do so for that super kick. Cover there, but no weight on Creedon Hollow's shoulders. Creedon able to easily get the shoulder up once he got his facilities back after getting kicked in the face. And a bulldog into the knee, but another very lackadaisical cover from the Wolf Spider. Creedon now looks like he might be going for a red rum. Kata Hajime changes his mind as he gets him into the corner and just a release German suplex. Dropping the Wolf Spider high on his shoulders and neck. Creedon now back to being in firm control of Hardenbrook. Sending him across now, charging in with a big leaping splash. sort of Stinger-esque. And now following it up with a big face-washing boot in the corner. The ruthless Predator is taking his time with Hardenbrook. He's going to send him across into the other corner. Runs in and another big leaping splash.
This is too easy. This is too easy.
Declares it too easy. And after being able to hit that boot again, he may not be wrong. Although now, I think he's biting him. That's a spider bite to the butt cheek. Hardenbrook now, he went for that cannonball again. Hollow caught him, and what a power bomb. Cover now. And Creedon Hollow's not done yet. Creedon wants to put a bit more of a beating onto the Wolf Spider. Picks him up off the mat. And now, sending him in the ropes. And I don't know, just boosts him up and then back down hard onto his back. Creedon following up with just a diving clothesline onto the man on the mat. And still not done beating on him. Creedon wanting to make sure to put the exclamation point on this match. Oh, this may be a mistake. If you have a chance to put your opponent away, you got to take it. Hollow now. Wrenching back, almost a camel clutch here. Referee checking on the Wolf Spider. And that's it. Impressive victory for Creedon Hollow. Taking the attacks that Hardenbrook had to offer and put him down. Did not just want to pin the man. He put him to sleep.
We're doing this again, buddy. We're doing this again. Chose to be smart.
Creedon saying that they're going to do it again.
Which time you took off your mask. I'm not wearing a mask. Take off the mask. I'm not the one wearing the mask. You're exactly what's wrong with society today. You really want to poke him?
Hardenbrook still trying to get into Creedon Hollow's head. Very impressive performance, though, from Creedon. And it's main event time. We saw these men, the American-made Outlaws, and Dallas McCoy earlier.
The American-made Outlaws!
Just shamelessly interfering in each other's matches to the point where they had to be thrown out. Dallas McCoy made the challenge for this tag team main event. And it was decided that if they just all four want to fight, then maybe the tag team match is the best way to settle this dispute here in the Proving Grounds. Brad Elliott still declaring that he rocks. Ironically enough, his partner, Christian Wilde, is the one in a band. Christian Wilde, the bass player for Chuck Vibes and the Deadfields. Check them out on your music streamer of choice. But this is not going to be a walk in the park for the American-made Outlaws, no matter what Dallas McCoy is going to try to tell you. Making him wait.
And their opponents, Jesse and Jay Manson, the first family!
On the Proving Grounds website, the First Family was described as the ruthless regime. And that's not very far from the truth. You can see them ready now for tag team action. They've got the First Family jackets on, coming out together, backing the American-made Outlaws up into a corner. Now, Jay's the taller of the two brothers. Jesse's the one with his face painted. Jay knocking Christian Wilde's jacket off of the corner post.
Do you know where this came from? Your mother gave you this. Yes.
My mother was a tailor, and she is the same.
Arguing now about his jacket.
I love your mother.
The First Family are ready. So much so that Jesse has stolen the jacket. Parading around in Christian Wilde's peacoat. Now wait a minute. Oh my goodness! Elbow drop to Christian Wilde's jacket. By God, that jacket has a family. Wilde now taking his jacket to the back to protect it from any further violence from the First Family. Now, we don't know what kind of difference Dallas McCoy is going to make in this match. Some would call it an unfair fight, 3 against 2, but I don't think there's anybody in the building that's cheering for the American-made Outlaws. So it is kind of lopsided in that regard. Jesse Manson and Christian Wilde is going to start us off. And we are now in the main event. Everything in the Proving Grounds is led up to this. And the crowd letting Brad Elliott know exactly what they feel about him. Dallas McCoy trying to silence him by holding up the Brad Rocks t-shirt.
You better shut your mouth. You better shut up right now.
And now yelling specifically at a fan. The First Family are just waiting and laughing. Referee urging the two combatants to get going. Wilde now looked like he was about to lock up and then backed away. Employing some of the same strategy that he was using earlier in the evening. But it is effective. He is the smaller of the two in the ring, smallest in the match, and taking advantage of that speed and possibly try to wear out Jesse. Or he could just be afraid. Running right over to Elliott and tagging out. And Jesse's going to take a break. Just going to relax. Now, Elliott showing that he can relax, too. I've never tried sitting up on the rope hammock like that, so I'm not sure how relaxing it is. Brad trying to get a cheap shot there on Big J. Now, I think we might finally be getting a lockup. No. Elliott ducking under the lockup to get that waist lock. Smart strategy from Elliott. As much as the American-made Outlaws may not be likable, they are being smart. Taking advantage of the anger that they caused from Jesse. Jesse now getting a nice elbow to the side of the head. Hammer lock. Taking him back into that first family corner and brings in the big man. Manson now getting Brad set. And a big chop into the center of Brad Elliott's chest. And another one. And right on top of where it says Brad rocks on his shirts, or I guess right below where it says Brad rocks on his shirts, it's going to be a nice, large Manson-sized handprint. The brothers now trying to decide who's going to actually chop them. Almost a fraternal argument between the two, both wanting to punish him. And Christian Wilde actually has sort of a point, as both men been in the ring for quite a while. And now Manson, not above breaking a couple of rules if need be, rakes the eyes of Brad Elliott across the top rope and a nice headbutt. Some nice right hands from the madman. Brings Elliott out of the corner with a snapmare, but make sure that he doesn't throw him out too far so that Elliott is not able to get that tag. Although, looks like Elliott walked away and he missed that drop kick, and a big leg drop, brother, from Brad Elliott onto Manson. Critical mistake from the First Family is now allowing the Outlaws to get the advantage, and in comes Christian Wilde. Send him into the ropes now. Wilde with a drop kick. The high-flying Daredevil. Now grounding Manson with a nice side headlock. He's going to try to squeeze the breath out of him. And actually, now that I'm seeing it closer, it's a head and arm. Some nice amateur wrestling technique. Though those MMA knees would get you disqualified in an amateur wrestling match. And a nice splash from Christian Wilde. And Manson came in there. He was not going to let the match end that early. And that distraction was enough time for Jesse to recover enough to get a big right hand on Christian Wilde. And now the fresher of the two members of the First Family are in. And another exchange. Looks like we might be seeing some double teaming here from the First Family, especially now that they've sent Elliott off. And that was like an old school heart attack, but instead of a clothesline, he just grabbed him by the face and threw him down. And a short leg drop there. Jesse now tying him up. Looks like he's going for a sharpshooter. Christian trying to prevent it, but is unable to. Jesse now has that sharpshooter in the center of the ring. Referee, though, trying to get Jay out. And that's enough of a distraction of the referee. Referee did not see Elliott come into the match. And look at how smart Brad Elliott is. Dragging both his partner and Manson into the corner so that he can get the tag and so that Manson cannot. Catches Jay coming in. And now McCoy and Wilde putting a choke on as Brad sends Jay Manson over the top and down to the floor. American-made Outlaws fully in the advantage area. Nice vertical suplex from Brad Elliott. Gets the cover. We get two. But Jesse valiantly getting that shoulder up, staying in the matchup here. Brad, though, showing no signs of giving up. Gets Jesse in the corner. Big punch to keep him at bay as he brings Christian Wilde back into the ring. Wilde now with some punches of his own and some more of those high-speed stomps. keeping the rhythm on his chest like he does for the Chuck vibes. Quick tags in and out for the American-made Outlaws. And here comes Jay to prevent more of those stomps. Which, of course, gets the referee out of there so that they can triple team his brother. Dallas insisting that he did nothing wrong, although we know the truth. Brad ran after Jay trying to get the sucker punch. Jay just dropped off the apron. Christian Wilde, though, big corner drop kick into the middle of the chest of Jesse. Pulling him out now and going to turn him over into an ankle lock here. Trying to get the wheels out from under the madman. Looks like he's also trying to goad Jay into coming into the ring, and it works. He just straight up kicks him in the face. And now peacefully leaves the ring. Wild now gets tag. Elliott in, headbutt. And another one. Just punishing Jesse, clunking head to head. Now front face lock for Elliott. And Jesse is motivated to get to that corner. Motivated to get the tag, to bring in his brother. And Jay leaning in as much as he can. And we've got a tag from Jesse to Jay, and a tag from Jay to the back of Brad Elliott. Face wash there with the laces of the boot. And a big right hand. A stomp to the middle of the chest from Jay.
I'm looking at it. Oh, I bet you are.
And both teams still putting the bad mouth on each other. Jay now sending the ropes up on the second. Taking a lot of time up there. Signaling to the crowd exactly what he's going to do. And took too much time. Elliott able to get out of the way of that moonsault. Elliott now drops the leg onto Jay.
Where's the camera? This camera.
And is going to force Jay to carry his weight. Jay, though, makes the ropes. Brad Elliott keeps a hold on as long as the referee will let him without getting him disqualified. Dragging Jay Manson back into the middle of the ring. And a leg drop onto that arm, and now looks like he's going to go start to work on the right arm of Jay Manson. And now just kicking at the man. Now switching sides to the right arm. Manson getting out of it. Smacks Christian Wilde off of the apron. A kick to Dallas McCoy, but he took his eye off the ball of the man in the ring. And Elliott able to take advantage with a couple of kicks right to the midsection there of Jay Manson. Picking Jay up and just sends Big Jay into his corner. The American-made Outlaws corner, and they've got this ring cut off pretty well now with the big man in there. Wild choking out Jay in the corner there. Referee looking to break it up. McCoy was going to interfere. You saw him grab him, but he saw the referee coming, and now big stomps in the corner, and Jesse does not like seeing his brother getting stomped like that. But it only gives the Outlaws more of an opportunity to basically triple team Big J. Warning to Dallas. I would think by now that Dallas would have been tossed out of here. But what do I know? I'm not a referee. Nice shot to the midsection. And a big forearm to the back. Jay trying to battle and get into this match. Back body drop, elevating Christian Wilde, and makes the tag in. The fresher of the two brothers. And now punches in the corner. Jesse continuing to just try to bruise up that midsection of Wilde. And now that's a mean chin lock. Pulling back on the chin, restricting that breathing, but also with that knee in the middle of the back, acting as kind of a fulcrum to bend the back over the way that it shouldn't go. I think Jesse sensed he wasn't going to get a submission there, so just started hammering down forearms in the middle of Christian's chest. Now, a nice power slam from the Madman, and he's going up. Jesse now on the top rope. No water in the pool. Christian avoiding that attempted splash from the top rope, and now just stretching Jesse out in a camel clutch. Jay was attempting to get in the ring. Dallas McCoy preventing it. Could this be it for the First Family? And that might be a mistake, relinquishing that hold. Now just kind of surfing on him for a 2 count. I don't know if it was the smartest thing for Christian Wilde to release that camel clutch. He was firmly in control, had it sunk in the middle of the ring. But he'd better release that chokehold before the referee gets to 5. He does so. Elliott now wanting to get back into the match and is obliged by his fellow American-made outlaw. And now more stomp downs of Jesse Manson in the corner. Scoops him up now. Nice Death Valley driver. And another big leg drop. Keeps the leg across. The leg was across the shoulders, but it was not enough to hold down Jesse for that 3 count. Jesse now trying to get back to his feet, trying to stay in this match. Across the ring, Elliott charges in, and Jesse is out of the way. This is going to be the opening that he needs if he wants to get to his partner, to get to his brother. But he wants to make sure he has the chance. Leaping splash into the corner. But is that all that Jesse had left? Might have been all that Brad had left. Both men are now down, and this is a race, folks. You have to think that whoever gets the tag first is going to have a huge advantage as it comes to the direction of this match and how it would turn out. Both are getting closer to the corner. Jesse makes the tag. Elliott gets one as well. But Big J coming in like a house of fire, sending Christian Wilde down. And just a big spinning power slam from Manson. McCoy now on the apron. Not for long. As involved as he's been in the match, he might as well come in the ring. The First Family now isolating Dallas McCoy. Got him upside down. They're making him think about it. Double vertical suplex onto Dallas McCoy, and you have to think that's going to take him out of the matchup. Manson and Manson, the first family, owning the middle of the ring right now. Waiting for at least one of the Outlaws to come back in. It looks like Jesse's not going to wait much longer. Stalking the two. Elliott, though, getting the jump on Jesse. Wild basically runs into forearms on Christian, but Jesse sends Elliott into the corner, and this could be it. And got him in position. And this could be their big move, the DNR. One half is complete. And the big elbow. Do not resuscitate. Count of one, count of two. And the first family triumph in the main event here on the Proving Grounds. Jesse and Jay standing tall at the end of the night. And considering the double and triple teaming and the advantages the American-made Outlaws tried to get over on these two brothers, it is great to see them come out on top, able to overcome the odds and show the fans here at the West Central Community Center and the office of Rogue Wrestling Attractions exactly what they are able to do. What a night of action. Athletes giving it their all in the middle of that ring to show what they can do. The Proving Grounds, a very apt name for this show. What do you think? Who do you think triumphed most of all? Who would you select for the Rogue Wrestling Attractions roster? Hit that comment section below and let us know. But I've been Willie Largeman. For the crew, for the wrestlers, and for everybody, thank you for joining us here on the Proving Grounds.